Good morning, everybody. My name is David Obeem, and I am the CEO and founder of Voice of Legacy. Imagine when people lose a loved one. It is not the things they have saved about the loved ones that really matter. It is the voice they did not. And this is usually the biggest regret that families and loved one feels when they lose a loved one. It is the most painful part. Can you imagine them thinking, oh, I will never get to hear this person's voice again. They will never get to talk to me again. It's very emotional. And that's why I created Voice of Legacy. What problem are we trying to solve? We're trying to solve the problem of regret. This is a big problem because when families lose loved ones, the regret of not keeping that voice, getting to talk to that person again, asking that question you wish you had asked, it's always very painful. Also, we're trying to solve the problem of loneliness. This is a big problem. You're feeling lost in life, and can you imagine being able to just pick up your phone and then talk to your parents that are long gone and say, hey, Dad, I miss you. I wish you were here. I wish you could give me an advice. I'm going through this problem. And your parent kind of relating that information to you, even though they're no longer here with you. So that's the kind of problem we're also trying to solve. Now, traditional legacy is usually with photos, right? These photos have no expression, no tonality. Now we're changing all of that. We're trying to make sure it's interactive. We're bringing to life your legacy. Legacy does not have to be somber. Legacy has to be exciting. It is not something you do when you're about to die. All right, so moving on. So what's the solution? The solution is Voice of Legacy. And Voice of Legacy allows you to capture your memories, your life lessons, your wisdom, your stories, and save it in a secured vault such that your family members can relive it. It's intentional. It's something you do. This is not social media. This is leaving a gift for your family so that it's priceless. That's the key thing. Yes, you might leave a life insurance for them, but the legacy you're leaving to them, the gift, is just priceless. How it works? Very simple steps. You capture your memory. Our AI system organizes it and saves it and makes it searchable. And then you can relive with it. You can voice chat with it. You can text chat with it. Does the product looks like? So this is designed to be voice first only, meaning you make your memories with voice and your loved ones can interact with it with voice. It's also multimodal in the sense that you have various ways of capturing your memories. The idea is to make legacy capture easy. You could use audio, video, text, document, photos, but you're being intentional. We're not just talking about making memories for the memory's sake. You're making memories to connect your current self to your future generation, the best gift you can ever give to them. Why we win? Like I said, we're multimodal. There is no digital legacy app right now that does what we do. Like you have no multimodal interface for the input. We provide you with an interactive AI chat where you can chat, voice chat or text chat with your loved ones. And then we have a concept called designated survivor, meaning if you're not active for a specific number of days, it sends a notification to them. There's no company that does that. What people do is take your old pictures, put it together in a nice digital format and send it over to you. And that's why we win. What's our early traction? So we've launched the MVP. We have 2 paying believers right now. We have a lot of people testing out the app, and I hope that people here in the audience can go to the website and try it out. It's free. You don't need to put any credit card. But we're getting a lot of feedback. We're changing. We're repositioning the way we're presenting our concept. Initially, we had it as preserve your memories, but we switched that to regret prevention because that's what it actually is. It's not a nice to have. It's something you have to do. Life is busy, but this is the best gift you can ever give your family. In terms of the market, right now it is projected, the digital legacy market is projected to go to $16 billion just in the US alone by 2034. Why is that so? because voice is becoming mainstream and AI is making it more searchable. What is our business model? It is a subscription-based model. We do have a free plan, and then we have 3 other plans for people to select from. So, and then also you can also provide this as a gift to your loved ones. In terms of being the founder, I'm the only member of the team. I built it end to end. My experience is in IT, and I have several certifications in AI technology. What I'm asking today, I'm asking for $125,000 to build the mobile app, to make it much more easier, to harden the security, because security is always a concern for people, and to make sure that we're able to onboard and re-educate people about what legacy is about. Legacy is about the now. It's not something you do when you're about to die. And hopefully we can connect with people here that can introduce us to other partners, like, lead pastors and things like that, so that we can interact, because these are people that actually, care about their legacy and want to prevent regrets. So thank you so much, and I hope that tells you about the product. Let's make sure no family story goes untold. Thank you so much.
David, great presentation. Good speaker. All right, we like David, yes? Raise your hand, we like David, that's good. Yeah. So this is an interesting thing that you're doing. And I want to tell you, I think there's a hazard that you're going to encounter, all right, which is this. People just raised their hand and said they like you. They do. You're likable. You know that, right? How many of y'all like this idea? It's a nice idea, right? Yeah, good, Tim. So when you go out in the world and you tell people about this, no one's going to say, oh, David, I hate this, and you should shut it down immediately. Mm-hmm. No one's going to do that, because it's a good vibes, like values-driven thing, and you're nice, and all that sort of thing. And so every time you talk to a person in the world, they're going to say nice things to you. They're going to, right? And all of that's completely useless when it comes to generating enterprise value if you're trying to build a business. You, I think, have to really lean hard into looking at the metrics around adoption, conversion, and ongoing usage on this thing, and let that be the only input that you value in terms of whether or not you're going to build a business out of this, right? Because if you're not seeing good adoption and usage, it won't grow into something that'll be valuable to you, right? Economically, right? You might want to do it because it's a good thing, but you are going to be awash in positive feedback from people. And if you let that anesthetize you from the reality of the business, you can end up spending more time on this than you should. Right. You know?
Yeah, and I think that feedback is really valuable. Like I said, initially when we started, we presented ourselves as preserving your memories, and then we kind of switched based on the feedback we were getting from people to, preventing regrets, to create that urgency. Because what we notice is that people like, yeah, we love it. We think it's an awesome idea, but, they never took action. But when you think about repositioning yourself into like that urgency, like, hey, and then it requires a little bit of, re-educating the customer base. And that's what I was trying to allude to. Yeah.
Is it a business? Is it a business, or is it a charitable good thing? It's a business.
It's a business.
Okay.
Thanks for the presentation. I like the concept of it because it feels important for life events, right? Lost my dad a couple of years ago, recently thinking about like stuff to preserve my mom's. And so a couple of things I wanted to ask. Your revenue model is $999 to, is it 19, or what's the top one?
So
what's the most expensive plan?
The most expensive
$999 lifetime.
was $19.99.
Well, it's
$19 a month.
Well, the 1,000 lifetime is absolutely the only deal here, right? But what's the top end monthly?
The top end monthly is the
Was it 24 or
14.
19?
Oh no, hold on. Let me just go back real quick.
14 was in the middle. What was on the right? 19. Okay,
Yeah.
Great. All right. So I don't think that this clearly articulated what was different. So for me, I was thinking through this from I'm paying $240 a year at the high one. Like, do I have an unlimited number of family members that I can document? So I would try to frame the business model around actual user behavior. So that's So something to give on just the pitch setup. The second thing I'll say is that you are not shown in this pitch at all. So as you stand up here and you start with the emotional piece of it, I fully expected to see a picture of you and a lost loved one. Absolutely. So the stocked photos were just kind of a disconnect for me, which seemed more of like a 23-year-old MBA student seeing this as a market opportunity and putting something up using AI. If you're going to build something that is so personal to all of us, you should be a little bit more in front of us about why you are building this and why this matters. That didn't come across at all. And then the last thing I was going to say is that I think that the competitor slide left a lot to be desired. So you put StoryWorth, StoryFile, and Everplans. StoryWorth had nothing in common. StoryFile was a video first, and Everplans may have had two. And so I can assure you there are other platforms that are doing this. And so I would try to think through how you get to market. It's great that you got 2 paying customers, but in my head, I'm thinking, could you not sell a one-time thing where it gives you 30 questions that you ask a loved one and it records them? Or it literally sends, I sign up with my phone number, I add my mom's phone number, and it sends us both the same voice chat prompt in the morning for 2 weeks or 30 days or whatever that is, and try to think through how you measure engagement to Chris's point. So those are 3 quick things that came top of mind.
And those points are valid again. Like I said, we've been getting a lot of feedback. Most people say they want a plan where they just make a payment once and they have it for life. And we're planning to introduce that plan so that people can just make one payment. They don't want to have subscription where they're paying monthly. So that's a very good feedback in terms of that aspect, right?
Mm-hmm. You did great connecting emotion, but it's not going to lead to an emotional buy. It probably will lead to an emotional reaction of, let me go record my family members, which is the opposite of what you want as a business. Do you listen to NPR? No. Oh, wrong answer. They have a program called StoryCorps, and StoryCorps does this. Of course, they preserve it at the Smithsonian. However, you may want to take a listen to some of those stories, that interaction, and do a little bit of what Harold said and really think about how you leverage AI to either auto-comb pictures or something and create what's happening in this picture, tell us about why you're laughing, because otherwise I can promise people are going to get too busy to actively do this. If it's a short amount of time, if it's creating a capsule, I can see that working. I think with, quote, general busyness and people's probably over-reliance on social media for their memories, you're gonna have a ton of competition that has nothing to do with business. Like, people could just do it themselves. So I like the idea. I actually have all of my grandmother's voicemails saved from every birthday for like the last 10 years. But I had them on my phone, I downloaded them, and now I have them forever. So that's what you've got to fight against.
Right, and that's the thing we're trying to say, that it's supposed to be intentional, and that's the feedback we're getting, and that's the message we're trying to differentiate ourselves, like, hey, you're not just keeping it on your phone or, some storage, because tomorrow you might be gone, and maybe a decade after, it's all lost. This is the problem people face, but you're able to interact with that. I did the same thing. When my mom calls me and she misses the call, I save the voice note, because I'm thinking maybe one day she might be gone and I need to play those. But the beautiful thing about Voice of Legacy is that you can interact with it. It comes alive. That's one thing.
I was just going to ask you about that. So when you talk about that, is that truly like your, I could have interviewed my dad for however long and had it. And when you say chat, this is very specific. I could say, hey, I need to do this. Is it using the audio that I've uploaded from talking with him and whatever else to come up with an answer to my question in his voice? Or is it only search and like, hey, can you tell me about that recipe? And it finds the audio where he specifically said that recipe.
So this is the way it works. You make a recording, it saves it, and then you can ask questions in random, like using natural language. The AI looks through what has been recorded and provides a response to you based on only those saved memories, and then provides a source link in case you want to go to actually listen to the recording yourself. So it's more like it's able to talk to you, it's able to react based on the saved memories. And if you want to listen to the actual recording, the video, you go to the actual source and you can listen to it. So that's the key thing about it. It's able to interact with you.
What I'm saying is that, and maybe I'm missing that point. Are you saying that if my dad's voice, if my dad left me a voice note reciting the words to Hotel California and all this other content, I could potentially ask him to sing a song that comes out tomorrow, and because your vocabulary capture of all that information and all of it, I'd be able to have audio of that? Or are you saying that it's going to be a different voice that references the original file and tells me where to find it?
For now, we're using the AI voice, but when you want to listen to the actual voice, we can clone that. I'm just keeping my costs low right now by using the AI voice, but your voice can be cloned such that it can respond with your own voice. So the key thing there is that it provides feedback to you right now, and the goal for me eventually is to kind of clone people's voice, and then it will have in that response. And if you want to listen to the actual audio or video, you can always click to the source. That's one thing we're making, because you want to create that trust. It's not just randomly, creating this answer. You can actually go to the video or the audio and listen to it and see what it was saying.
And with that,
Right.
get a quick one.
I was just going to say this. Your pricing, pricing's changing a lot in the world. I think your pricing is just enough friction to keep people who want to try it out and not enough value to you to create a good business. I'd rethink the whole pricing thing. You should look into SaaS agent-based pricing. Yeah, something totally different. Yeah.
Awesome. With that, let's give it up for David.